KCHW 102.7. There's Jesus Jones right here, right now. That's where we are. 8:34. It's the Scott and Jean Morning Show. Minus Jean. She has taken all of her children, and you know she has lots of kids, right? I know Tim does. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. So we got Tim Nelson in the studio, and also Chris Lehwalder. Did I say your name right, Chris?
Yes.
All right. So Chris is our featured artist for First Thursday Art Walk. We're going to be talking to him in a second. I always like to pick on Tim a little bit, though. How things going at the Trails End Gallery?
Fantastic.
All right. So
we just completed a gallery addition.
All right. So
yeah, we doubled our gallery space.
So you've got a lot more room, is what you're saying.
Yes.
All right. Very nice. We'll have to come by and see that tonight, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So now the art walk tonight might be a little slippery, so be careful.
Yes.
Could be raining. Bring an umbrella maybe or something like that. How many locations tonight?
Just your tonight.
Just your gallery.
Chuvino and Trails End Gallery.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got you really distorting stuff for some reason. I'm going to back you off a little bit. So just Chuvino and the Trails End Gallery tonight.
Correct.
To start time is
5:30.
5:30. Okay.
And it goes to 8. Sometimes it goes till 9.
Now
depends on the crowd.
is everything that's being shown Chris's work, or do you have some other artists in there too?
The front gallery now is given over to my rotating exhibition, so Chris will have that space for the next 2 months.
Okay.
And then the gallery that we added will be the permanent gallery, where we represent multiple artists year round.
Okay.
So that's the fun part, is now I've got all this art.
All this extra space, right? And
exactly.
all this art. All right. So we're going to invite people to log on to the website if you'd like to see Chris and his artwork online. You can go to kchw.org, click on the Listen Live button, and you will see a link right there to our webcam. It'll open up. You'll be able to hear everything we're doing, and of course see us on the webcam as well. So go ahead and do that. Tim, if you want to go play Vanna, Tim plays Vanna and switches out the artwork. And if you are watching on the webcam, Chris, go ahead and wave. There you go.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
So, Chris, start off. I was looking at your bit in the paper that Brandon Hansen did for you, and he says you've been doing art for over 40 years.
That's correct. I started in 1975.
And how did you get started?
Kind of a desperation thing. I'd been in the Army. I got out. I had been a permanent student for many years, and I did my pre-med, and I went to graduate school and all that, and I was getting a little older. I was 28, 29, and newly married, and my wife had a teaching job she just acquired in Bellingham, and I didn't have a profession. And we have a lot of beautiful homes in Bellingham, and I started drawing them, and was selling those. I figured anyone that had a $1 million house would pay $100 for a drawing, and they did. And then a company called Alaska Silver and Ivory Company came to Bellingham, and they're from California, and they were marketing scrimshaw. And scrimshaw at the time was really hot and becoming hot, and I got in with luck, and they hired me because my scrimshaw is done by engraving. It's pretty close to the line drawings I was doing, hyper realistic, very, very tiny details. So that was perfect for them. And then I teamed up with some other people in the Herald building, and we were there for many years doing scrimshaw, and it was doing very well. It was doing well on the East Coast. It was doing well in Alaska. Not so well in Seattle. Very hot in California and Nevada.
All right. What do you think the problem with Seattle was?
I don't know. I mean, the art markets are funny for all the different media. Seattle was always a good artist, still is a good artist market for paintings. Portland's notoriously horrible. I would go down with friends of mine that were well-established Seattle artists, and they had trouble selling in Portland, so would I. But for some reason, scrimshaw in Seattle didn't take really well. It sounds like I'm not on the subject, but it's regional. That's all I can say.
Wow. And how'd you hook up with this guy?
Tim? No, I've known. How did I meet you? We've kind of crossed paths about 6 months ago. Okay. Yeah. 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 I just seemed to be really well organized, and I took a look at his gallery and his plans. I could tell he was serious about it. And when an artist feels that the gallery's got their back and they're serious, the artist puts more energy into doing a show for them. All
right.
I was impressed with his abilities and with the gallery.
And now, where do you call home?
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua is home.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I came over here in 2004.
All right. I've seen you around town.
Yeah.
Now, your artwork that you have coming up tonight, is it all in one field, or do you have some of the scrimshaw you're talking about and mixes of other things?
I'm doing a large scrimshaw commission right now, but they tend to be commissions, so they don't sit in galleries.
Okay.
I do them, and they go out the door. So no, but I will be having watercolors, prints, oils, prints of oils.
Now, this one that we have up on the camera right now, it almost looks like a photo.
Thank you.
I would think it was a photo if I hadn't read in the paper that it wasn't.
Right. Well, thank you. Yeah. My intention is to be photorealistic, but the difference is that the artist can manipulate colors to give them more vibrancy than a photo would have.
Okay.
And to me, these are really excuses to do an abstract painting. I'm obsessed with composition and the way the eye travels around the painting. And so I put this photograph up, and then I play with it.
Now, this looks like maybe one of our local car yards.
You are very right. You are so right.
Did you get permission to go on their property and do this?
I eventually did. The owner was never around, and the guy across the street on Wrights Valley Road, where all these cars are, I just came up to the fence, and he wondered what I was doing. He thought initially I was from the city complaining about, apparently they've had complaints about all these cars, and he had a little bit of an attitude, but I just told him I was photographing, and then they let me go on the property.
Nice.
And then a caretaker up on the hill, up on the base of Wrights Valley Hill, there's a spot up there, this woman's living, walked around with me, and I took more pictures. I probably photoed there 5 or 6 times, and each time took 100 pictures.
And you got to find just that one to turn
That's
into the
exactly
painting.
right. I mean, I let the camera do most of the work for me, and when I see an image that pops, I put it on. I check it every day, and if it still is alive to me after a few weeks, I think, yeah, it's got legs. It'll work.
All right. And what? You have another painting down there. Vanna White's going to flip that for us.
Yeah.
All right.
There you are. This is done in a different style. I did this style in Seattle for years. There are more plein air paintings done on the spot. Plein air means set up the easel. You got your tailgate down. You've got everything ready to go.
And that's how you did this one?
Actually, no. That I did in the studio, but I did based on a photograph. But it's done in that style, where you don't worry so much about extreme detail, the exact correct corrugation here. It's more. It's just looser.
All right. And that was taken out by the magnesite flat, I'm guessing?
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah, on that little side road that goes up there.
Yeah.
So.
And so, like, how do you get your inspiration for these different places to take
Well,
photos? And then, obviously, then you're going through it trying to figure out which one to paint. But where do you get your inspiration? Do you just like,
Yes,
wow,
you
and
see,
jump out of the car?
Artists see paintings. I've talked to other artists and they have the same experience. Once you're painting, you just see a painting. You'll be driving and you'll see a painting. Often a rearview mirror is a ready-made frame or a side mirror, and you'll see a painting. That's great. You move 10 feet, it's gone. There's something about it. You back up and you grab the camera. I just thought that was a cool building. And I tried for a couple of years to photograph it from the highway, but it never worked from the highway. It was too big. You can't translate into painting something that looks awesome because of its size when you're in front of it. The same with those grain towers down in Reardon. You can feel the power, these huge columns, but you can't get that feeling into the frame. They're by the time you back up and get it like that, it's you've lost that feeling. So
It's got to be the perfect angle.
it does,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So you had your artist lecture last night at the Courtside Brewing. How did that go?
I thought it went really well. I just wish I'd had more images. Yeah.
A lot of people showed up for it? Good deal. Good
Yeah,
deal.
it was
We
well
like that.
attended.
All right. So you'll probably see them all again tonight.
Hope so.
All right.
And
all
more.
right, All right.
Yeah.
Now, if people wanted to find out more about your work, do you have a website?
I do.
Page?
It's just my name.com, chrislehwalder.com.
Okay. And spell your last name for everybody.
Lehwalder.
So remember the H and the D, and they should be okay, right?
And the R, not an N, yeah. Lehwalder.
Lehwalder.
chrislehwalder.com.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add? Invite people out tonight?
Oh,
you have one more? You
We
do.
have one more.
Excellent. Excellent.
I've been doing a lot of animals. I'm somewhat into animal rescue. Tim just asked me. I've had as many as 18 cats when I have 2 litters and their mothers and my own cats.
Did he tell you that Scott's a cat lover? Bring a picture of a cat.
Who is?
I said, did he tell you that we had a cat and you needed to bring a picture of a
Oh,
cat?
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. But
All
joking. But I love your cat.
All right. So that's the station mascot, Mooch.
Okay.
And because if you come in with food, she's your best friend.
Okay, of course.
So maybe we'll have to
She
commission.
does look well fed.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to commission you sometime to picture a paint of,
I would love that.
of our cat under the call letters or something.
I'll give you a good deal.
All right. So is this one of your kitties?
Yeah, it's a cat that showed up last year. It's a barn cat who's still intact, never fixed, pretty beat up, and extremely hungry.
He looks good on the camera.
So,
too.
right, I just started feeding him, and obviously, he's going to stick around.
Friends
so
for life. Yeah.
He now runs a house.
All right. Oh yeah, you can kind of see the a chunk out
Yeah,
of his ear.
Yeah, that's right. And his tail was covered in blood, and he had ear mites and conjunctivitis. His eye was almost shut.
And you thought, what a beautiful painting.
Well, he has a lot of personality. He's very big.
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of male tomcats are like that. They're real friendly, and they'll headbutt you. He's just a friendly cat. He's a big boy.
And that was at your house, obviously?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a little platform where I put packages. I have this fence system that I put around it, and he's sitting on that platform, dominating the scene. So I photographed him.
That's an excellent one. I love it. All right.
Thanks.
Do you have any more hiding down there? That was it. Okay. You kind of
Come to
surprised.
the gallery if you want to see him.
It was kind of brave to bring your paintings out in the snow, wasn't it?
Oh, there.
You had them wrapped? Okay. All
There's
right.
oil on board. It's pretty tough.
All right. And is that what are you doing currently as far as, are you into the watercolors right now?
I just did this a week ago. I'm trying to loosen up with my animal paintings right now, get more life into them, and back off a little on the ultra-realism like you saw in that car junkyard. I'll tell you a funny story. I was doing watercolors. It would have been in the show last night, but I didn't put it in at the last minute. Looking at setties down the alley, and it was a pretty good watercolor, I thought, and I left it on the roof of my car.
Oh.
And I drove home, and I get to Quarry Brown Lake, and I thought, where's that painting? And I came madly back, and it was sitting in the middle of Main Street with tire tracks right across it. It's almost like a cartoon, like perfect tire tracks. So I took it home, and it's rag paper, so I was able to clean up some of the dirt. And then I put it on Photoshop and photoshopped out the tracks. But
Maybe
kind of funny story.
you should have left it all natural.
Yeah, it was so perfect. It looked deliberate.
I wrecked a motorcycle one time,
Uh-huh.
and I was wearing high tops, and at some point during the wreck, the motorcycle went over my foot. So I had this perfect motorcycle track over these white high tops.
Yeah.
I saved those shoes for years.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It was like a cat's got paint in its paws, and it jumps on your painting and walks across it, a little.
Just seeing some of the stuff you did, I saw the most beautiful, and I tried to catch it with the camera, and I couldn't. But it was going up Browns Lake Road, and there was a deer carcass on the side of the road, and a bunch of little scavenger birds around it, and an eagle setting on the rib cage of the carcass, just like, nope,
Okay.
it's mine.
Yeah, stay away.
But to me that would have been an awesome painting, kind of gruesome, but
Yeah.
very cool picture with the
You
eagle
gotta have
stuff.
a camera with you,
I did, but by the time I jumped off, parked on the side of the road, got out of the car, got the camera out, tried to get him in frame, he started to fly off. But I did kind of get a cool kind of half fly off picture, but it was a little blurry, but I tried. So, all right, so say your last name again. I'm having a hard time with it.
Well, actually, Lehwalder.
Lehwalder. Chris
Yeah.
Lehwalder tonight, beginning at 5:30 at the Trails End Gallery and Chavino. It's your first Thursday art walk, courtesy of Trails End Gallery, right, Tim? Yeah, all right.
Okay.
All right. Anything to add? How about you, Tim? Upcoming stuff? Go hop at the mic if you got something you want to shout out about. You want to tease the emerging artists or anything? We'll save that for later. All right, here he comes. All right. Once again, Tim Nelson, Trails End Gallery. So is that your kind of next event you're working on?
So we have Chris Lehwalder. We'll get 2 open. So
Okay.
he'll have a first Thursday open in February as
Okay.
well. Our next artist after that is Dave Anderson from Portland, Oregon.
Who's been in before?
Yes.
All right.
It's been 2 years and since he's been here. And so we will have him March, April, and then May, June, Merging Artist show from Spokane. We're trying to get Spokane people up here.
All right.
Find
Build a
clever
little
and crafty
tourism,
ways
yeah.
to just open the pipeline, exposure for the gallery, exposure for First Thursday for Chihuahua.
Sure.
And just thanks to all our sponsors, yourself included, who've really supported us in this endeavor. Quartzite Brewing for hosting the art talk, and all the businesses, the Independent and Washington Federal, Edward Jones, Ryan Moore, for helping this thing go. It's been great. I've got more artists on tap for the rest of the year too, but that's good to hold people's attention, hopefully, for right now.
Okay. Again, tonight, 5:30, start off at the Trails End Gallery, see the enlargement, the remodel, and the extra art space, and check out Chris's very cool art. Thank you guys for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
All right, it's KCHW 102.7. We want you to have a great day. We are back into the music in this.